All right, what's up, guys? Wednesday, March the 23rd, 2022. Appreciate you all tuning in. We are live here on the Daily Crow. I'm Chris Phillips, your host of the Spurs Up Show of the Daily Crow. As always, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. I see Travi, Alex, Dusty Road, Cody Gaskins, Brennan M., Rob Youngson. Appreciate you all tuning in. Also, if you're in the Big Cock Club Discord, head over to the TDC Questions channel. The TDC Questions channel, be sure that your questions are answered there as well. Let's go ahead and grab the charger. Guys, I do want to hear from you today. I see a lot of you commenting, and let's just go ahead and get into it. Because, last night, we all know how it went. We all know how last night went and how the last four games have went. And if you listen to the podcast this morning, or really if you haven't, you should. Because I used last night to vent, guys. I apologize if anybody was listening to the podcast this morning or what have you, and you had kids in the car or kids around you, or you were offended by my language. I do apologize, guys. But I needed to take the opportunity to vent. I needed to take the opportunity to express how I felt. And today's podcast is not me saying I'm giving up on the season. I will be at every single game, guys. I will be at every single game for the remainder of this year, at least at Founders Park. But it was something that boiled over finally. And I couldn't resist. So, I've sort of said my piece. Again, I'll go more into it if you guys really want, but I'd love to hear your calls, your thoughts, because if you listen to the podcast today, I was able to get a lot off my chest in regards to the program and the state of the program and what's been going on of late. David Cloninger, by the way, guys, on a separate note, just tweeting, USC Board of Trustees has called for a meeting for noon tomorrow. The only item agenda is approval of contract for athletics coach. So, sounds like Lamont Paris, his contract will be approved tomorrow. Anyways, would love to hear from you all. Again, if you have not listened to the podcast, I highly suggest it. Again, it's not for the faint of heart. It is not safe for work. I went in. So, again, I apologize to those who may have listened. And if you were offended by my language, again, I do apologize. But I was irate last night, and I'm still not happy. Andrew Murphy says, what's the latest on Bosnick? The rumor is he'll be back next week for the Missouri series. Andrew, I don't care what pitcher returns. I don't give a damn. Simply put, you can't hit. You can't hit. And I don't know. I don't know if we've just lost all confidence at the plate. I don't know if we're pressing. I don't know what the issue is. I really don't. Because we make hitting a baseball look – listen, I understand hitting a baseball is difficult. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's something easy and whatever. But, man, for a bunch of SEC hitters, dude, we make hitting a baseball look like an impossible task. We really do. We make it look like an impossible task. And it's just painful to watch. It's just painful to watch, man. It's just painful to watch. We are last year's offense just without the home runs and the excitement, So, again, would love to hear from you guys. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Again, I sort of said my piece on the podcast. I'll really, if you guys really want me to, I don't know if I'll have quite the passion I had last night because that was such a raw reaction immediately following the game. So I'm not sure if I'll have quite that much passion as I had on the podcast that dropped today when I recorded the podcast last night. But, again, guys, I'll tell you this. I've had some time to decompress. I've had some time to think about what happened last night and the last 4 games. But I get tired of saying, well, tip your cap. Well, tip your cap. Well, tip your cap. Tip your cap. People should be tipping their cap to us. I talked with someone last night, actually, after the game, believe it or not. And they said, Chris, it's okay. College athletics, it ebbs and it flows, and at times you're great and at times you're bad. But you know what? We're Gamecocks till the end. And it's just part of being a Gamecock. And my response was this. Listen, that might be the case in football. That might be the case in basketball. But not in baseball. It just simply doesn't apply. I'm not saying you got to go to Omaha and win a national championship every year. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Call from Phil Harris.
This ain't good enough. Here we go. Phil, what's going on, my friend? How are you?
Pretty good, my brother. How you doing?
I am doing well. Appreciate you asking. What's going on?
So I did have a written statement that I wanted to read off to everybody that's listening on the Daily Crow.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So I prepare a written statement. I would like to apologize for my comment during yesterday's Daily Crow. Although I did not single out a specific person in my comment was rude and thoughtless. I invite all Daily Crowers to now throw tomato emojis at me in the chat as I speak. So go ahead and get that going. My role has changed and evolved over the years on the Daily Crow, and I find myself somewhat of a heel, the tomato thrower, if you will. My comments are always in jest, but this time I went too far. I potatoed myself, if you will. As a gesture of goodwill, I will not make any comments about Carolina athletics during this call to allow others to call in and share their thoughts about our athletic program that we all love. We'll also be retiring the tomato emoji in the chat and also refraining from making any negative comments towards other callers. I'm retiring the heel persona. It is gone.
Phil, very well said. Very well said, my friend. I appreciate your statement, and I'll speak for all when we say we forgive you and appreciate you calling in.
Thank you very much. Have a great day, and I apologize again.
Phil, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Phil Harris, yeah, in case you missed it, things got a little messy late in the show yesterday in the comments. So Phil calling in, issuing a statement. Hey, appreciate that, Phil. Appreciate that, Phil. Hey, it takes a real grown adult to admit their mistakes and when they were wrong. So I appreciate Phil for that statement. And I won't go any further into what happened late yesterday in the comments, but some things were said back and forth, and yeah. So I appreciate Phil. I appreciate Phil for that. Anyways, taking your questions, comments, calls. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Yeah, Matt, just asking what Phil said. Just some back and forth between Daily Crowers, if you will. It's a Daily Crow thing. If you know, you know. Anyways, back to what I was saying, baseball-wise, again, guys. If you didn't listen to the podcast today, I highly suggest it. I mean, I went in. I went in. Again, I apologize to those that maybe were offended by my language. I needed to vent. That's all I can really say, man. And I think you guys rock with me and rock with TSUS because I keep it a buck and I keep it real. I keep it 100, man. And sometimes, I think what it is too, is just the boiling over of the baseball stuff and the coaching search stuff and this and that. And it's just like frustration finally just boiled over for me. The frustration finally just boiled over. So Again, I would love to hear from you all. Again, what you have to say. 843-790-3377. Brian Dean says, we're 10-10. It's unacceptable. We are a baseball power, and we need to start playing like it. Mark Kingston, it's your job to right the ship. If we don't make a regional, resign. I doubt he'll resign, but, guys, and I told you before, I'm not going to spend my entire season calling for Mark Kingston's head. And, guys, the reason I'm not doing that is because I don't have to. I want y'all to try to comprehend what I'm saying. I don't have to. Here's what I mean by that. Again, there's no gray area here. This isn't Carolina football where if you go 6-6 or 7-5, things are golden. It's not Carolina basketball where who knows what the expectations are on a year-in, year-out basis. This is Carolina baseball where there are real championship expectations. Very high expectations, which is a damn good thing. And so, guys, with each loss, I don't have to say a word. Kingston will dig his own grave. Kingston will dig his own grave. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to kick and scream and complain and beg the administration. Kingston will dig his own grave. If you miss the postseason this year, I don't think he survives it, guys. I don't think he survives it. And you know what? I don't think we should lower our expectations for anybody because there's no excuse with Carolina baseball. And listen, there's 36 games left. I'm not mailing in on the season. I'm not mailing it in necessarily in the sense of I'm going to be there in support. I'm a Gamecock fan. We're locked in, folks. We're locked in no matter what. But the way things are trending, all the things I've heard behind the scenes from former players, parents of former players, those in the baseball community that know a damn thing or two, I don't have to say a word. I don't have to say a word. I don't have to start a Fire Kingston campaign. I don't have to, put coals on the fire of the Fire Kingston train. Guys, hey, listen, he will dig his own grave. And that goes for every coach here. If you do not win, you will dig your own grave. So that's why I haven't taken the stance like I did with Muschamp and all that. It will play itself out. It will play itself out. There is no gray area. Well, our 3-year record, and we've won this many since in SEC play, and if you just count these 7 years, there's none of that, bro. There's none of that in Carolina baseball. You either win or you're not here. You either win or you're not here. Cocky Twan says, if you see anything that can assure you we will get to a regional this year. Listen, Cocky Twan, a lot can change in the game of baseball, right? A lot can change. A lot can change, okay? It can. I'm not saying it can't. I don't know if I need to trim my mustache or something. This is getting really annoying. I got like one hair on my face. Anyways, I'm not saying things can't change. I'm not saying things can't change, my guy. Not saying that. This team could have a come-to-Jesus moment and get their heads out of their ass and play well this week and take 2 or 3. Who knows? And the schedule, well, and here's the thing. I don't even want to say, the schedule's going to soften up. And I'm really, guys, I'm not one to freak out and overreact to a midweek game. That's not me because I understand this game of baseball. But what irks me the most is at some point, man, you went to Knoxville and got embarrassed. I don't care how good you think Tennessee is. I don't care how good you think Tennessee is. You got embarrassed. From start to finish. Start to finish, you got embarrassed. So I was just thinking to myself, hey, you know what? We're going to take it upon ourselves, or we should take it upon ourselves, to have a bounce back night. We should. You know what I mean? It's important. Also, it's an in-state matchup. It's important. You play for Carolina. It should be very important. Being a Carolina baseball player means something. At least it should. So, like, I don't know what the disconnect is. Again, I don't know if Kingston's putting too much pressure on these guys. Because it all comes down to the sticks. It all comes down to that. Pitchers threw fine last night. It was great to see Brett Thomas back out there after an injury. I think he'll help us in the bullpen. Aiden Hunter continued to do Aiden Hunter things. I thought Cade Austin was fantastic. And listen, Michael Braswell did not have his best night. But, guys, you shouldn't have to win a game 3-2 at the Citadel. You just shouldn't. 3 runs on a Tuesday? 3 runs on a Tuesday? Guys, you scored 8 runs your last 4 games. You've scored 8 runs your last 4 games. Again, I don't know if we're pressing. I don't know if we are scared to fail. I don't know what it is. And I'm not making light of how hard it is to hit a baseball, because it is. But damn it, you're at the University of South Carolina for a reason. Like, you should be able to hit a baseball. You shouldn't leave 10 runners on base. And again, you shouldn't have to win a game 3-2 on a Tuesday. You shouldn't. Especially after you got smoked all weekend. And Cocky Twan comments on the pitching. Cocky Twan, what more could the pitching have done? You want them to throw a shutout every game, my dude? It ain't the pitching, my guy. It's not the pitching, which is shocking to me, because I really thought in the preseason, man, bullpen struggles. I think the bullpen's going to struggle. We got a bunch of new guys, dudes that are sort of unproven. And God forbid it's been the freaking bats, man. And I really thought the bats were going to be better over this year. I really did. And Dusty Rhodes brings up that what I posted this morning. And believe it or not, you know why I saw that? You know why I saw the Citadel celebration thing? I don't know if that dude is a fan of the show or just wants to be a troll. But apparently at some point he added me on Snapchat. And literally he DM'd me after the game. And said, "Go Dogs." That's how I even saw the story. I didn't reply, obviously, but I saw his story. And I didn't post that to listen. Citadel has every right to celebrate. I'm not saying they shouldn't celebrate. Whatever. Big win for them. I'm actually happy for Blake Cooper. I DM'd Blake last night. We chatted for a minute. I'm happy for Blake Cooper. But I posted that because, guys, and this is like a whole other issue. Guys, I am so tired of losing. I'm so sick and tired of watching people dance on our graves. And it happens across all of the big sports. Seeing videos of people jumping and dancing to Sandstorm, our rally cry, if you will. Forgive me for being pissed off. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of watching people do that. That should bother you. If you have any competitive bone in your body, That should bother you. I'm just sick and tired of. I'm going to try to keep it clean today, man. I'm sick and tired of losing, man. I'm sick and tired of losing. I love being a Gamecock, man. Don't get me wrong. I hate losing. And then seeing videos like that, oh, man, I mean, I'm not saying our guys aren't trying. I'm not saying they're not giving it their all. I'm just pissed off, man. Like, I'd hope, listen, I'd hope everybody in the clubhouse is pissed off too. I'd hope Kingston's pissed off. Like, I just could not go on the podcast today. I could not go on the podcast and say, well, everything's all right, whatever.
Call
like,
from
Robbie Davis, a.k.a. Kirk Street.
Robbie, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing good. You seem like you needed to pick me up, so I figured I'd go ahead and call.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, I'm I'm good. I'm good. I'm just, I like to win. So I hate to lose and I like to win. And
I've said this before, man. I'll say it again. Winning is fun. Losing sucks. It really sucks.
I'm very irritated with the fact when I say I'm a Gamecock, it's like a joke. It's a joke. It's an insult to call myself a Gamecock at this point. That's how it feels.
Right. I would love to go through a whole sports year. Okay, I would love to see us go through a whole sports year for our big three, basically, which is football, basketball, and baseball. Okay. But I would love to go through a whole year where those sports that I just mentioned
Whoops. I will say this. We just lost the feed for a second. We're back up now.
right,
just to piggyback on what you're saying.
Mm-hmm,
you want to see the big three over the course of a year kicking asses. I mean, listen, I'm not saying, bro, I get it. Not everybody can win, right? It's hard to win. I understand it. I understand it. But man, like, it just kind of feels like we can't catch a break at times. I mean, and this is no disrespect to anybody in that building, but literally we're hanging our hat on a 7-win football team. And this is no disrespect that we got Dawn Staley women's basketball. That's great. Hey, they're going to win a national championship. It's great. But when it comes to the men's sports, a 7-win football team, we're going to go through an entire calendar year. And at no point, unless something drastic changes the rest of this baseball season, at no point will we have been ranked in any of the 3 major sports. We won't even have been ranked.
Mm-hmm.
Not even ranked. I'm not talking about winning a national championship. It's being ranked. That's tough. That's tough. That's very tough.
And I don't know what Phil Harris said yesterday. I wasn't really in the live chat too much yesterday, but on Facebook, that is. But I'm going to use another good book reference on you. You ready for it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I feel like it's perfect for today. Because it says in the good book that all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. All. That includes me, you, anybody in the live chat, anyone you've ever met in your life. It doesn't matter. Okay? No one's perfect. Okay? Nobody Okay? I don't care if you've been a Christian for 5 minutes, 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years. No one is perfect. Nobody. And that is a fact.
Amen. Amen.
I tell people all the time, the only perfect person that has ever existed is the God that created everything. That's what I tell people all the time.
That's a fact.
And I don't know what you said, but just so you know, I didn't see the video, but I forgive you. I still pray for your brother and your mom and I pray for your brother, your mom, everybody, all of them. Okay, because like I said, I love the fact that you've been a great friend to me. So that's why I do that all the time. That's why I always check on you, make sure you're not, doing nothing too stupid, leaving the dumb stuff to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just dropped the F-bomb about 50 times, but other than that, we're fine. So, I mean, listen, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I think at this point, when I first started the podcast early on, there were people that would really get their feathers ruffled if I slipped up, and I don't curse 99% of the time, but I think people are.
Right.
I mean, heck, I have people that hit me up a lot that say, "Chris, you should curse more. Please curse more." So it is what it is, man. I mean, you know what? If it bothers you, so be it. But you know what? At least you can feel the passion. So,
right. I mean, sometimes whenever you get passionate about something, words slip out. Okay.
Well, it didn't necessarily slip. I knew what I was saying. So I spoke on today's podcast like I would have spoken in the locker room, truly. So.
Right. And honestly, with the way our bats have been going in this baseball season, we couldn't hit the broadside of a barn if we were standing next to it. It's ridiculous. That's how you know it's bad.
Yeah.
But I can't believe I'm fixing to say this. But if we don't figure out something quick, fast, and in a hurry, there is a good chance we might not make it to Omaha.
Yeah, Robbie, I'm gonna make a bold take and say that Omaha is kind of off the table at the moment. Yeah.
That seems like a good idea. That seems like a good take. But like I said a couple of weeks ago, about like my rant a couple of weeks ago about the standard, right? The standard of the baseball team. And we are not at all playing to the standards that former players are accustomed to seeing, what our former coach is accustomed to seeing, and what the fan base is accustomed to seeing. Okay, we're not playing like that right now. I mean, even in pro baseball, there's pro players that go through a month without getting a hit, a whole month.
Slumps do happen, yeah.
And the slump can last, like I said, it can last a month. It can last a couple of weeks. It could last who knows how long. But once you kind of sort of get out of the slump, and then just go back to the basics instead of trying too hard. Because I feel like that's why a lot of players in sports go through slumps, is they try too hard. They just don't let the game come to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just go out there and have fun and just do what you do. Just don't try to overthink it. Because if you overthink it, you're going to screw up. And also I wanted to give a shout out just for the heck of it to Phil Harris. Okay, shout out to Phil Harris just for the heck of it. And I don't know yet. I may or may not show up tonight because it's supposed to rain pretty bad over here, and my dad doesn't want to drive through the nastiness.
Yeah, it's
I
kind
might
of a
not be
nasty,
there
a little
tonight.
bit of a nasty day out. It is a little bit of a nasty day.
So I might not make it out. But I told my dad I'd be ready to leave just in case.
Well,
But-
I appreciate you guys' love and support, man. So if y'all do decide to come out, we'll have a good time.
Bro,
If
you
not,
got my support
totally fine.
100%. You already know that.
I appreciate that, Robbie.
So. But that's basically it from me.
Robbie, I appreciate the commentary, man. Sincerely, I think we got a lot of people wanting to call in, so we're going to try to get all these takes. A lot of
day, okay.
Yeah, man. Robbie, I appreciate you, man.
Bye.
Good stuff. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Guys, I do want to hear from you. Let's see. Anyways, what can we talk about today? That's not depressing. Beamer's presser yesterday was great. I'm excited for the spring game. I'm excited for Spencer Rattler. Rattler saying about USC, quote, I feel totally refreshed being at a new university, a great university like this. I'm very comfortable here knowing Coach Beamer. Getting to know all these guys my first month up here, I made a great decision. I feel like the pressure's taken off a little bit. My main focus right now is starting over with my team after spring break and going on to spring ball. So, good stuff. Get this. Rattler in his career has completed 70% of his throws, 4,595 yards, 40 touchdowns, and 12 picks. Pretty good stuff. Not a bad line. Again, guys, in case you missed it, the Board of Trustees is meeting tomorrow for USC. On the agenda, approving an athletics contract. So, approving an athletics contract. Let's turn to the phone lines here.
Call from
Colin Floyd.
to accept.
What's going on, man? How are you?
Good, man. Chris, what's up? I just watched the podcast, and I wanted to say you are 100% correct about your whole take.
I appreciate that. That was a bit of a vent session for me. That was a little bit out of character, but I just, again, I could not. I could not get behind the mic and pretend like everything was okay. And I mean, I'm not one to overreact to a midweek loss or whatever, but I mean, it's just, it speaks for itself. So just frustrated, man, just pissed. I mean, it's just been trying to hold it together for a while and give Kingston, these other guys, the benefit of the doubt. But I mean, Carolina baseball is just a shell of what it once was, man. It is. Call it for what it is. It is, This isn't the Carolina baseball that I know. It certainly is not.
Yeah, I especially agree with you. I mean, watching the game last night and seeing our batters at the plate just taking strike after strike after strike, it almost seemed like Kingston was giving them signals to take strikes and not hit. Like he was playing the game to get more runners on base instead of being aggressive at the plate. And I feel like all of our hitters you just see them sitting there taking strikes, and it's frustrating to watch.
Yeah, I mean, and it's one of those things where if you're swinging at first pitches and you're getting out, it's like, okay, take some pitches, see it out. If you are taking first pitch strikes, first pitch fastballs on the middle, it's like, hey, be more aggressive. I just don't know. I don't know what the plan is. I don't. And I don't know if our guys are pressing. I don't know if Kingston puts an immense amount of pressure on them. I don't know if they're scared to fail. I don't know. if there's no plan, if it's a bad plan. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. What I do know, and again, this is just one case, okay? This is just one case, so could be just, a one-off. But I do know that Brennan Malone, who I was a big fan of, transferred to Oregon after last season.
Yeah.
Hit like 200 for us. Could never figure it out. Transferred to Oregon. You can say, oh, he's in the Pac-12. I don't give a damn what conference he's in. Brennan Malone, through 20 games, is hitting 367 with 5 homers and 16 RBI. So what's the difference? What changed? Same player. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the home run saved us last year. People complained about the home run. The home run was our saving
That's all
grace
we
last
had.
year. So we are
Yeah.
just last year's offense with no home run, which means we're not
Yeah,
really
no
good at
power.
anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying we got
I just-
terrible players, because these guys go to the Cape Cod League
Yeah.
and ball out. But there's just a disconnect swinging it, man, because we make – and I felt this way last year too. I felt this way last year. But I thought, you know what? Kingston made the necessary changes in the offseason, getting new coaches. He brought in players like Brant Belk and Kevin Madden from the transfer portal. But the way I felt last year was this. Scoring runs was hard. Like, we got down 3 or 4-0, and we felt like, oh, my God, this is such a crazy mountain to climb. Instead of, dude, it's 4 runs. It's college baseball with aluminum bats. Scoring 4 runs should not be that hard. And now I feel the same exact way. Like, even when we score runs, I don't know if anybody notices, but it's like pulling teeth. Like, it feels like we got to grind to get 1 run. I mean, Tennessee's out here scoring 20 runs a game, or 20 runs in a game, I should say.
Yeah.
But like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I don't know what the disconnect is at the plate. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely feel like it's part of the whole head coach thing. Just the way they're playing ball now, it almost seems careless, like haphazardly just going through the motions. Like you saw, I don't know if it was the top of the third or the fourth, but when Horning was, I think, what's it called? The first batter up comes up, and they both, 2 lefties, and they're lining shots to left field, and then they send a guy from first all the way to third, and they had no outs.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Matt Hogan got thrown out at third. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just tough to watch, and it felt like we literally are helpless when we get past second base.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man.
I know.
I mean, we scored a run. We scored our runs yesterday via a solo homer, a passed ball, and I don't even remember how we scored the other one. I think Carson Hornung did have an RBI single. But again, it's just we struggle top to bottom. Do I think we're better than what we've shown? I mean, yeah. I sure would like to think so. But still, it's just the inconsistencies, and we just don't look like we have a lot of fun in the box. We don't look like we have a ton of fun in the box swinging it. We don't like hitting is very fun for us.
Yeah,
so
definitely no. And then we had that good weekend at Texas, and now it's like, it's just, I mean, I don't know anything. So
yeah, I don't know either. I don't know either.
Yeah. Thanks, man, for letting me call onto the show, man. I appreciate what you do.
No, hey, I appreciate the call, my friend. Thanks so much for your comments and your perspective. Appreciate it. Good stuff. Let me jump to this text real quick. We do have a text. Hunter Wages says, "Sorry for the long message. I need to vent. This might be an emotion-filled knee-jerk reaction from watching whatever the hell I watched last night, but I'm thoroughly disgusted with the state of South Carolina baseball right now. There's no pride. There's no fire other than the one that is hopefully engulfing Mark Kingston's seat right now. It always seems like I'm later than the rest of the fan base when it comes to calling for a coach to be fired. However, this time I've seen enough. Fire Mark Kingston. Any baseball coach that is worth absolutely anything at all should be able to consistently win at the University of South Carolina. Mark Kingston has shown us that he cannot consistently win here. Therefore, he is not worth absolutely anything. I know when it comes down to it, the players are the ones who play, but it's clear and obvious that Kingston can't get these guys to perform for him. It's disgusting, disgraceful, and at this point, just downright embarrassing. This is the one sport that I've always been able to look forward to, us being good. However, that is simply not the case anymore. We are not good. We might not even be an average, and that's just not South Carolina baseball. That coming from Hunter Wages. Appreciate the text, Hunter. I hear you. We got another text. Baseball team doesn't have their heads on. It's not all of them, but some need to take a long look in the mirror and face the music. It's gotten to the point where we haven't even hit the depth of SEC season and we've fallen apart. Not a knock on the guys who are out there doing all they can, but we need to take a step back and lock in. Yeah, there's got to be some sort of come to Jesus meeting, man. I mean, listen, hey, we got to play the next 36 games. We can't just fold it in. We can't just quit. We got to play the next 36. Let's jump to the phone lines.
Call from
Cocky Lids.
Here we go. Cocky Lids, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, man, what's going on, Chris?
Not much, man. Just hanging out. Appreciate you calling in.
Bro, so after the game last night, thank God my wife and kids had already gone to bed. I literally just cut the TV off and just sat there in silence for like 10 minutes, trying to collect my thoughts, man. It's so frustrating at this point. When you have teams like the Citadel, they try to give it to you by the pass ball. When Braswell strikes out, gets first, you get an insurance run, and it just blows my mind, man. Like back in the day, we were the guys taking advantage of those mistakes and forcing teams to make those mistakes. But now it's just, you put it best. This is not Carolina baseball. It's not even a shell of what Carolina baseball should look like.
Yeah, and I listen. I think if you're not pissed off today, I think there's something wrong. Again,
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't watch another game for the rest of the year. I'll be at all of them, but I mean,
Yeah.
dude, we're 10-10. Like that's
Yeah.
it's pathetic. It's pitiful. It's pitiful. 10-10.
I'll be watching. Yeah, I'll be watching them. To be a South Carolina fan across athletics, you have got to have almost a little bit of resolve and character just to be able to put up with this kind of crap, even though we're not used to this in the baseball program, which is a different feeling in all of itself. But it's just, I'll still watch. I'll still get frustrated. I think I've shaken my head more this season than I feel like I have, and I don't remember how long. I did, to try to vent a little bit to myself, I did some number crunching last night, just on like recruiting rankings, from Kingston's 5 years to Holbrook's 5 years. And I couldn't go back to like 2010 for Tanner, which those teams pretty much spoke for themselves. But so Holbrook, the 5 years from 2012 to 2016, which I believe were his classes, the average recruiting ranking was 6.
Mm-hmm.
For Kingston, and I threw 2017 in there, even though I feel like that had a little bit to do with Holbrook, even though he wasn't there anymore. That class was ranked 5th. The average for Kingston's classes with that 5th in there is 14. Now, that's not even close to what we were recruiting before, but that still shows that you're bringing in talent, in my opinion. So you're averaging the 14th best class in the country in baseball. But, I mean, just what you're showing on the field doesn't equate to that, and that leads to me, it's just got to be coaching. Like you made the perfect analogy with Brandon Malone.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, again, you could say he's a one-off, but I mean, that's a really drastic example, is it not? So.
Yeah, I mean, and the last year the 2020 class was the top four class. 2019 was the 29th. 2018 was the 20th. So he's obviously not recruiting as well as Holbrook. Holbrook also, one of the reasons we got all the guys we did when Tanner was there.
Mm-hmm.
But they've got the talent there, I feel like. That's what is so baffling to me is I just feel like they have the talent to be able to swing the bats, but it's like you said, there's a disconnect, and the only thing I can point to is coaching. I mean, that's what it's got to come back to, and I mean, I don't see it getting any better. I know baseball's a fickle game, but I don't see it getting better. I'm frustrated. I'm pissed off. Like I said, I needed that 10 minutes of silence last night where no kids, no wife was in the living room at all. yeah, it's frustrating, man. I
Yeah.
feel you. I feel you completely. But I'll ask you this, and this may be a bit of a stretch, but as far as like competitive baseball, college baseball in the state of South Carolina, where do we line up with the other schools in the state at this point? Coastal's ahead of us. Saw what they did to Clemson last night.
Right.
Clemson's clearly ahead of us. College of Charleston, Charleston Southern, Wofford, Citadel. I mean, where do we line up with those guys now? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, all I know is this: we're not number one, and that's the problem. So
exactly.
we're not
Yeah,
even
that-
number
that should never
two,
be
and
the issue.
that's the problem.
That should never be the issue at all. I did think about Blake Cooper after the game last night, like how, and you said you spoke with him. I'm just curious to know deep down inside of him if that win was bittersweet or if I know it was his guys,
Yeah.
but if he was pissed off at the same time he was happy.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I can tell you this without going too much into detail, and I didn't even get too much into detail
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah,
he was
right.
happy for his guys, but you know, I mean, I'm sure he loves Carolina, man. He's got a lot of love for South Carolina. He played there, so you know, I can tell you this, man. That those dudes that played on those teams, they look at Carolina baseball right now with a, you know, just baffled. I mean, you know what I mean? They're baffled. You
Yeah.
know, so I can assure you that there aren't many of them, if any at all, that are saying, well, just give it time. It's baseball. No, that's not it. I mean, Ray Tanner was,
You should
you know,
never have to
we
get it
lost
done.
we lost to East Carolina in the regionals in 2009, and I'll never forget fans were literally asking, well, has the game passed Tanner by? Like maybe we need to go a different direction, get a different coach. And this is someone that had taken South Carolina to Omaha multiple times to a national championship. Like, so, yeah, I mean.
Well, it was either in 2010 or 2011, but we went down to Florence. I don't know if you remember, lost to Francis Marion.
Yeah, I remember that very vividly.
And that was because I'm originally from Florence, so that was kind of a big deal for me. It was kind of cool to see Francis Marion do well, but obviously it sucked. But that team won a national championship.
Right.
But I don't think you ever really had any doubt, even when they lost to FMU, that this team is just a midweek game. I think FMU was opening up a new ballpark. Like they had a lot going for them, and it was like a 2-1 ball game, if I remember right. It wasn't, but
yeah, it was a close ball game.
These
Yeah, I
guys,
remember that.
they don't even like they don't even like they're competing. Like it's last night. Wimmer goes up to bat in the eighth inning, I think it was. You pretty much swing with a lob wedge at the first 2 pitches.
Yeah.
And then you just sit there and watch the strike 3 pretty much go right down the middle, and you just walk off back to the dugout like it's no big deal. I mean,
yeah.
I hate to say that the guys have given up, and I hope and pray they haven't. But bro, it's just, I mean, there's no just want to. There's no fire. I don't know, and it's so frustrating as someone that's followed the program and followed athletics as long as we have. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It makes it harder having to watch games. Used to, you get excited to watch baseball games. Now it's almost like it's a chore.
Right. Yeah. No, it's you know, it's tough. And again, where I think us being pissed off is a good thing. I don't view it as a negative, to be totally honest with you. You should be upset. It should mean something to you. It should mean something to all of us, you know. So,
well, going back to what Robbie said too, I'm hoping Robbie misspoke about Carolina probably not going to Omaha. I hope and pray he was talking about Hoover because right now they may not make it to Hoover.
Yeah. No, I think Robbie did probably misspeak. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping too. But all right, brother. No, I'll get off. Let somebody else, vent to you. I just needed to vent to somebody because,
Hey, I hear you. Hey,
we're in the upstate.
We're all in it together. Trust me.
Yeah, I don't have many South Carolina people around me here in the upstate. So when I get the chance, I need to vent.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. That's what we're here for. So I appreciate you as always, my friend.
All
right, man. Take care. Great stuff, guys. We are, I guess, venting here on a therapy Wednesday. I guess this is a bit of a therapy Wednesday. And how could it not be with what's going on? Guys, taking your questions, comments, calls, and more. We're going to jump into a quick break. We'll take more of those on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. John Kruger says, getting away from the frustration USC baseball, Tyreek Hill has been traded from Kansas City to the Miami Dolphins. How about that? I know P-Mod, whatever. It's a big Dolphins fan.
Call
Shut
from
the phone lines.
AKA Little Brad.
Little Brad, what's going on? How are you? Little Brad, can't hear a word you're saying, my guy. There we go. There you go. You might have had your finger on the mic. We lost you again, Little Brad. You're muffled. You sound like you're in a cave, my guy. Little Brad, try calling back in again. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm thinking he's holding the phone and it's just like muffled like this. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Try to call back in if you like, my dude. Anyways, would love to hear from you. Travis Allen, I did not see the kid get hit by the tornado. No, I didn't. That sounds crazy. Let's see. We do have a voicemail. I guess we could play it. Somebody just called in and left a voicemail. Here we go.
Yeah, I just got a question on, I need to know how you feel about it. I feel like we've had one of the best baseball programs in the nation when Ray was there. And now Kingston has just run it into the ground. I know you can't blame, him for the injuries and so on and so forth, but the recruiting, the lack of game time decisions, the poor game time decisions that are being made, I just believe it's time for him and Mr. Tanner both to.
I hear you, man. Again, this is the date event. This is the date event for sure. Listen, it's just not acceptable. What's going down. Listen, we got a lot of baseball left, but it's not acceptable. It's just not acceptable. And I'm frustrated. And listen, you should be. You shouldn't be. Oh, well, it's okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay, man. It's not okay. Carolina baseball, we're supposed to be the intimidator. And right now at the plate, we look intimidated. We look intimidated, man. Pitchers dictate every at-bat we take. I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. Anyways, guys, would love to hear from you. 843-790-3377. Joe Anderson says players mean everything in college baseball. Coaching is key when a game comes down to being situational, but the overall talent's bare compared to where they were nationally relevant. Watch Smoke literally get walked with the bases loaded one time against Malden in a state title game. Joey Pancake and Jason Place were instant ball in the gap if a pitcher made a mistake. Yeah, we don't hit mistakes, do we? We don't hit mistakes. We really don't. We do not hit mistakes. Certainly don't punish mistakes. James Kendall says, took my parents to the game last night. I assume this is what bringing a meth head girl home to meet the family's like. Matt Sellers, this loss wasn't as bad as a Xavier, but just the newest sucking. Citadel isn't bad. They're 17-4. Xavier was 2-9. I hear you, Matt. I guess it's just one of those things where in the moment I say, you know what? And I wasn't happy after Xavier either. Let's not get it twisted. I wasn't happy after Xavier either. But I mean, I know midweek losses happen. I get it, man. And I don't, I've said before, I don't like people overreacting or jumping ship or whatever when you lose a midweek game. But I'm not jumping ship and I'm not giving up on the season, but I am pissed off. I mean, I'm frustrated, man. And again, everybody involved with Carolina baseball should be too. Like, if you're not pissed off, there's something wrong with you. You should be pissed off. You should be embarrassed. You should be irritated. And then you should do something about it. I'm talking guys in the locker room. I'm talking coaching staff. Something has to be done. I'm sick of the tip the cap bullshit. I'm sick of well, you know, the SEC is just so much better than it was. Bullshit, man. I'm sick of it. I don't want to hear the excuses. Again, it's Carolina baseball. Win anyway. Find a way. Excuses are for losers, man. You want to make excuses, then go somewhere else. Excuses are for losers. Find a way. I mean, damn it, if you're a hitter here, you got recruited here for a reason. Hit. Baseball's a game. It's fun. Hit the baseball. Hit it. I know it's not that simple, but my God. Scoring runs is like pulling teeth for Carolina. And that should just never be the case. I mean, you're at Carolina for a reason. You're at the school that at least when I was playing, everybody wanted to go to. Everybody wanted to be a Gamecock. Like, being a Gamecock means something, man. That's the school. Have some fun with it. For the love of God, dude. It's baseball. It's not life or death. It's baseball. And we're so far in our own heads at the plate, we can't see straight. Pitchers dictating every single at bat. We're taking fastballs right down the middle. We're swinging at pitchers' pitches. And then when we do make contact, it's weak contact a lot of the times. Again, I'm not saying hitting a baseball's easy, but
Call
check the
from
phone lines.
Tim Harrison.
What's going on, man? How are you?
Good. How are you, boss?
I'm doing well, man. Appreciate you asking. What's going on?
Hey, I got a question for you, man. I know we should, we all should be, as Carolina fans, as Carolina baseball fans, we should be extremely heartbroken, disappointed, pissed off. Like you said, we don't need to jump ship. We just need to voice our opinions and let the, AD is not going to matter, but let board of trustees, let the president, let everybody know our frustrations. With that being said, what do you think about like a early season, mid-season coaching change to where you would possibly get rid of Kingston, but let Wingo, who has that winning mentality, especially under Ray Tanner, to take over and build the morale, build the culture back up to the way it was when Ray was there and in charge?
I'll just say this. I mean, if that's a decision they made, so be it. You don't see that a lot in college baseball, a mid-season firing. So, I just, to be honest with you, I don't know. I mean, you don't see it a whole lot. So I doubt they do it. I think they'll let him coach throughout the entire year, but could they do it? I mean, and if it got to a point where it needed to be done, then, so be it. But, I don't know. That's honestly, man, I'll be honest. That's really not something even on my radar. I don't think they do that. It's just, again, like I said, in college baseball, it's just not really. I can't remember the last time I saw a mid-season firing just for performance. Now, we've seen it before for guys getting in trouble or dealing with stuff behind the scenes, but just simply because of a lack of results. I don't think Tanner. I don't think they do that. I don't think they do that. So, but who knows? I mean, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, like I said, I just wanted your opinion on it, and I appreciate you taking my call, boss.
Yeah, man. No, I appreciate it. I appreciate the call.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't think that's something they would do. I don't think it's something they would do. I've been wrong before, but. And again, I will say this, guys. I will say this. Listen, I'm not saying that Ray Tanner doesn't need to step down. I'm not saying that at all. I get it, man. But I tell you what, if fans think Ray Tanner's pleased watching this, I think you'd be sorely mistaken. I do. I think you'd be sorely mistaken. I mean, if anything else, if nothing else, I should say, this is Ray Tanner's baby. He built the program. It's his program, really. He built the program, straight up. So, I don't know how he feels about football. I don't know how he feels about basketball. But I'd be damn shocked if it doesn't bother him to see what's going down with baseball. Yeah. Sorry. Excuse me. All right. Yeah, guys, we'd love to continue to hear from you. Yeah, Travis Lee. I think Ray Tanner's probably pissed off. Yeah, I will go out on a limb and say I think he's pissed off. Yeah, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I think so. Yep, I think so, my guy. Let's see. Connor Lee says, "Where'd you get that hat?" Appreciate it, my guy. One of my dudes at the Thread Affair event, which they're having another one, by the way, April 3rd. I'm pretty sure we'll be there. One of my vintage homies, man. There's so many dudes in Columbia that have so many dope vintage pieces. Yeah, this is the 2001. You see on the side too. It's got the Outback Bowl champions on the side. So, yeah. And Daddy O says about Ray Tanner and baseball guys. Let's just kill this idea. Okay, let's kill this idea. Ray Tanner will never coach baseball again. Okay. Ray Tanner is never going to coach baseball again. Bottom line, end of discussion. It's never going to happen. So let's just get that out of our heads, or any of you that might have that in your head. Ray Tanner is never going to coach baseball again. If he wanted to coach baseball, he would not have taken the AD job when he did. I'm just saying. I don't know who needs to hear it. I don't know who needs to hear it, but Ray Tanner is not going back to the dugout. It's not happening. So, just letting you know, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. As much as you might want it to, it's not going to happen. Anyways, guys, again, this is your forum. This is our forum, I should say. This is our forum. But it's a forum to today, most likely vent, to express your frustrations. And you know what? It's good not to keep it bottled up. I joke with people all the time when it comes to the podcast and everything that the mic is my therapist, right? The mic always listens. The mic is my therapist. So last night was like therapy for me, truly. Last night was like a form of therapy. Just getting behind the mic and just letting it go. So like I said, if there's anybody that was offended by my language, I apologize. But again, I on the other hand, I'll never apologize for just being real and keeping it a buck. And I was pissed. I was frustrated. Again, if you're not pissed off, there's something wrong with you. Coach Ford, the Board of Trustees will be confirming or approving his salary tomorrow. So I'm sure tomorrow it'll be officially announced and there will be a presser. But I don't think Coach Ford, I think it's not a secret at all. I don't think it's a secret at all. But, yeah, if you're not pissed off, something's wrong with you. I mean, straight up. I'm not saying, again, give up on the Gamecocks and don't be a fan anymore. But everybody should be bothered with what's been going down. Everybody should. Whether you play, you coach, you're a fan, administrator. Nobody should be like, well, it's okay. It's not okay. It's not. It's not okay. And James Kendall said, you stopped short of calling for Kingston. Said, I thought, if anything, you showed mature restraint. I appreciate that, James. But again, it's just like I said before. I don't selfishly, again, I'll keep it a buck with you. Selfishly, I'm going to go to all the games this year. Every single one of them left at Founders Park. Every single one of them. Okay? I don't really want to stoke the flames of the Fire Kingston train. I don't want to spend the rest of my season that way. And you know what else, guys? I don't have to. I don't have to. Because there's no gray area with Carolina baseball. The expectations here, the standards, they're set. And they're championship expectations. And so I don't have to say anything. You keep losing, Kingston will dig his own grave. That's it. I don't have to say a word. You win, you stay. You lose, you're out. It's that simple. It's that simple. Wyatt Jones says, you just said Tanner's not coming back like 12 times. The only reason you gave was he wouldn't have taken the 80 job when he did. Not saying it's happening if people have change of heart. Well, Wyatt, I have a brain. That's one thing I have. Dude, he hasn't coached baseball in 10 years. And I know folks that know Ray Tanner, played for him. Wyatt, I'm not just going off a whim here. He's not going back to the dugout. Again, I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to figure that out. I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to figure that out. Connor Lee, no word on the welcome home from a few days ago. Yeah, Matt Sellers, the pitches were outside. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, pitches were outside. Tommy Wallace, I don't know who evaluates Tanner's performance. I have no idea. I mean, there is a new president now, so maybe it would be him. I don't know how much of a sports guy he is. Amaritis or whatever his name is. Amadiris. Whatever. Robbie Davis says, hope you have a great rest of your day. And also, I still have every intention on going to the baseball game on my birthday. Hopefully, I'll see you there. Yeah. Would love to see you, Robbie. Would love to see you. Either way, man, hey, listen, I love baseball. So I'm excited to be out at the ballpark all season long. It's, I love it. I love college baseball. I love the game of baseball. I love Carolina baseball too. And I take it a bit personally. I take it personally a little bit, just in the sense of when I think of Carolina baseball, I think of greatness. I think of elite. I think of championships. I think of fantastic. I mean, whether we were winning a national title or not, I think of fantastic teams, Travis Allen, Chris, do you think we played good enough to win? If we did, we would have won. No, I don't think we did. We scored 3 runs on a Tuesday. I mean, I don't care what excuse you have. We scored 3 runs on a Tuesday against a Citadel pitching staff that had like a 5.5 ERA. So, no, we didn't play well enough to win. No. And I don't feel like 20 games in, like we're about to turn some corner. Like maybe we are. Maybe it's truly darkest before the dawn and we're going to turn some corner, but I'm not seeing it. I don't see it. Grayson Best, is Kingston out if we don't make a regional this year? Great question, Grayson. Again, he asked, is Kingston out if we don't make a regional this year? If South Carolina baseball misses the postseason, I don't see how Mark Kingston survives it. I don't see how Mark Kingston survives it. And I'll go a step further. If you miss the postseason this year and you bring back Mark Kingston, you go against everything this program stands for. You go against all of the standards, you go against all the expectations, and you insult everyone who built the program into what it is or what it was. Again, I know our expectations for baseball can be very high, right? I mean, look at Chad Holbrook, and I'm not. This isn't the Chad Holbrook defense tour or anything, but Chad Holbrook's tenure here at other schools would have been fantastic. You know, for us, we had come off winning back-to-back national titles, going to Omaha 3 in a row, and there were some, aka the D1 baseball guys, that thought, man, South Carolina's a tough job because the expectations are astronomical. I get we can have high expectations, but I don't know, man. I feel like there's enough context that if you don't make the postseason, and guys, it goes a step further. Again, I've got a very unique vantage point on this situation in regards to my relationship with former players, parents of former players. People are talking, guys. People are talking. Some of the greatest to ever put on the jersey are talking. I've got a lot of people. I've had many folks over the last, we'll say 2 years, reach out to me with concerns about Mark Kingston. And again, these are not fans on Twitter. These are not fans on social media. These are guys that played at the school, that won some very big baseball games. I've had many concerning conversations. I've had maybe one conversation how good of a coach Kingston is. I just, there aren't many people that are defending the guy. That concerns me. That concerns me. Like at this point, it almost goes beyond the wins and losses. I don't care if you're a dickhead. I don't give a damn if you're an unlikable son of a bitch, but you better win. You better win. You think everybody liked Ray Tanner? You think everybody liked Steve Spurrier? Did everybody like Frank Martin? You can be a douche and win. You can't be a douche and lose. I'll leave it at that. 843-790-3377, guys. Let's jump into a break. More of your questions, comments, calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls as well. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. All right, let's jump to the phone line, too.
Call from
Miller, aka Little
Here
Brad.
we go. Little Brad, what's going on? How are you?
How are you? I'm doing very peaceful. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, man. I can hear you perfectly now, so I appreciate that. What's going on?
No problem. I just want to break down some stuff, man, but between the Tennessee and from last night.
Mhm.
First, I'm gonna start with Tennessee. It was the shit show of the damn century. Like, what on earth didn't happen?
I mean, we can't hit. I mean, how do you want me to summarize it, my guy? We just, Tennessee, I looked at, said, hey, listen, they're a lead on the bump. It is what it is. I still think it was embarrassing. We're just out of sorts right now. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't want to make excuses. We just can't hit. We just can't hit flat out. We don't have an approach. We have lost what it feels like we've lost all confidence at the plate. And I don't know how you get it back at this point. I don't know. We just can't hit. We can't. I think our pitchers are doing all they can. I really don't put it on the pitching. You can't expect the guys to throw a freaking shutout every game. It's college baseball in 2022, man. People score runs. It's going to happen. You got to hit.
All you do is hit and have fun with it. What's the point of being scared when you're going to stand there like a statue, let them slide, and just take your damn spotlight?
Yeah, we just can't hit him. Again, hey, could it turn around? I don't know, but we can't right now. We can't hit. We just flat out cannot hit.
And now the Citadel from last night, I couldn't believe it. I just had not seen nothing. It just knocked the taste out of my mouth for some parts of reason what just happened. It was like a big slap in the face.
Yeah, it was brutal, man. It was brutal.
And after I heard that some baseball players from Citadel edge on SmackDown, like, the hell?
I don't know if he had. I think he had added me before last night. Maybe he's a Gamecock fan as well. But yeah, he hit me up after the game. Just said go Dogs, whatever. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. You do what I do, you're gonna get chirped. I mean, just flat out, you're gonna get chirped. So,
I hear you. But and let's talk about this new coach, basketball head coach, Lamont. I think they had picked this coach too soon. I think it was like quite too fast. But they also didn't take the time and pick the perfect coach for USC. Basically, after I'm like, I'll say already, but in the back of my mind, like, okay, they should have like looked around for more. But if you so quick to look for a basketball coach this fast, he better be good next season. I hope and pray, because I'm watching the whole season. I'm going to sit and observe the whole thing, how it's going to turn out. And it's so quick to just get a new coach in about 2.5 days. I'm just hearing this on social media. I hope he better be good next season. That's all I got to say.
Lil Brad, I appreciate the commentary, man. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Chris.
Great stuff as always from Lil Brad. 843-790-3377. Jason Garner asks, do you think we should have went after O'Sullivan when he was available? Well, Jason, we did. We did go after Sully. And he was going to take the job, believe it or not. What's funny about you asking about this is like the first ever viral tweet we had back when we had like 100 followers. And we got shit on by Florida fans because it ended up not happening. But conversations I had with Forrest Kumis. Who who played baseball at South Carolina, of course, pitched game one of the 2011 College World Series against Florida. College World Series final, I should say, against Florida. He had connections and said that, Kevin O'Sullivan was going to take the job. Of course, then Florida goes on a run, wins the College World Series, and Florida commits to upgrading facilities, and he decided to stay. But we went after him. As far as I know, we went after him. We wanted him. We were going to get him. Anyways, guys, we are here taking your questions, comments, calls. Appreciate you all getting a little bit of a therapy Wednesday after last night. Hey, and you know what's crazy? What's crazy is there's no break. Hey, guess what? We play tomorrow. We got Vandy tomorrow, Thursday through Saturday at Founders Park. So, also, guys, hey, a quick reminder, of course, podcast did drop this morning. Check that out. Also, we're live tonight at 10 Roof, 6 to 8. $3 drafts, $3 Rumple, $3 Fireball as well. We'd love to have you guys come out for that. Also, we're throwing a watch party Sunday with the Gamecocks Elite 8 game. And I know what you're thinking. Before I get into that,
Call from
Kevin Wilson.
Kevin, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, Chris, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Appreciate you asking, man. What's going on?
I enjoy your show.
Thank you.
I was up at 6 a.m. this morning. First thing I did was check my phone and listen to your podcast. And I'll tell you what, I've been listening to you for quite a while now, and that was the best podcast that I've ever heard you do. And I agree with every word you said. I agree with your emphasis, the way you said it. I'm 55 years old. I go way back. I mean, I know you said you've been a fan since, 2001?
Yeah, about
I've been a
10 or
fan
11.
since I was. Yeah, I've been a fan since I was like 6. My dad was taking me down to Sarge Fry Field with June Raines.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've seen a lot of baseball.
Mhm.
I mean, I have a passion for Carolina baseball too. I went out to Omaha in 2002, spent 12 days out there when we played Texas for the national championship, the final series of the one and done championship.
Yeah.
Came home heartbroken, of course, we lost that one. But I was out there. Couldn't make it out the years we won. I wish I could have. But I'm with you. I mean, the thing that, I just didn't like Kingston from the beginning, and let me tell you why. I went, when he was hired, of course, I didn't know anything about him. But all I could do was look him up on the internet, and I saw his record at Southern Illinois. I saw his record at South Florida. And it to me, it just wasn't good enough. I mean, not for our program. I mean, coming in, I thought, no, this guy's not the man, okay? I mean, his record is just not what it should be coming to a school of our caliber with our tradition, our background, our history. But I was willing to give him a chance. I had a good friend of mine. He loved to hire. He said, man, this is great. He said, I think Kingston's going to be perfect. I kept telling him, no, I have my doubts. I don't think so. Well, sure enough, that same friend now is probably wanting him out of here quicker than I do. But the thing is, I went back after last season when we finished 34-23. I went back and figured up everything, his past records, and he averaged for 11 years or whatever it was at South Florida and at Southern Illinois. He averaged 34 wins and 23 losses in his career. Well, what were we last year?
Right.
34-23. And so that's just who he is. I mean, nothing against Kingston, but that's who he is. Okay. That might be good enough for some programs to be 10, 12 games over 500 to make a first round tournament game. But for South Carolina, that's not good enough. So even if he does come back and win, 32, 33, 34 games this year, and we make the tournament, get bounced in the first round like last year, that's not good enough for me, though. It shouldn't be good enough for our fans. I mean, we went 15 consecutive years winning 40 or more games, okay? That came to an end under Holbrook, okay? But 15 consecutive years winning 15 or more games, or 40 or more games, okay? Which is the gold standard in baseball, basically, 40 wins. This guy has one 40-win season in his career. Okay? So what in the world made Tanner or anybody else think he was going to come here and do something here? Okay? So that's the problem I have with this man from the beginning. But anyway, we'll see how it plays out. There's still a lot of baseball left, like you said. I just don't see it happening because he is who he is. That's the best he can do, around 34, 35, 36 wins a year maybe. Make the first round. I know, his first year here, he went to the Supers. Well, guess what? That was with Chad Holbrook's players, okay? Holbrook couldn't get him there, I guess. But if he'd have come back that next year, maybe he would have, just like Kingston did. But I'm just saying, I mean, that's just how I feel about the situation. I definitely think Tanner needs to start getting, resumes ready or whatever or looking at resumes of new coaches, because
this guy needs to go. He's just not good enough, and he's not good enough for this program, for this league. For the history of our team, he's just not. I mean, that's the way I look at it and feel. But I loved your post this morning. That was spot on. I'm saving that all the time forever because I love it.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate that. I think
right,
you spit facts. Appreciate it, Kevin. Listen, that was a hell of a call. And he brought up a stat that not that I've forgotten about, but just didn't think about. Yeah, 15 straight years, guys, of 40 or more wins. And if you're averaging 40 wins a year, you're a good program. I mean, you're a damn good program, right? You're getting the job done. And I mean, you think back to Chad Holbrook, man. Fans were so done with Holbrook, and I get it. But fans were done with Chad Holbrook, bro. Why? Because in 2015, he went 32-25, 13-17 in the SEC, and missed the postseason. In 2017, I mean, we all think that was a miserable year, right? Miserable year. Guys, we went 35-25 that year. Granted, 13-17 in SEC play. But in 2019, Kingston went 28-28, 8-22 in SEC play, the worst SEC record since ever, basically, since we ever started keeping SEC records. You know, in 2021, last year went 34-23. Granted, 16-14 the league. But 35-25 got Chad Holbrook fired. We went 34-23 last year. And so if you have another season like that this year, I mean, again, I know we went to the postseason last year. I had a blast, man. A regional at Founders, that was incredible. I mean, that was a blast. But the caller makes a great point, man. Winning 40-plus wins is the standard here, bro. It's flat out the standard here. It's flat out the standard here. Rebecca, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in. And appreciate you all calling in, guys. Like I said, I know I sort of blew a gasket on the podcast today. Many of you saying it's your favorite, which is interesting. I'd much rather be smoking a cigar and celebrating. So somebody commented, my kids used to love watching your post-game recaps, but not anymore with all the profanity. I think we all need to take it upon ourselves to set a good example for the next generation of Rowdy Roosters. Again, guys, I'll apologize if anyone was offended by my language. I'm sorry. I was pissed. Couldn't bite my tongue. I apologize. I'll hold the L. Again, 99% of my content, I don't ever curse. Very professional. Sorry. Couldn't help it. So, my bad. If anybody was pissed off or offended at the language, sorry. So, I will hold the L. Grayson Best, what does the pitching rotation look like when Bosnick comes back? Who goes in the Friday slot? I think Will Sanders is your game one pitcher. I think it'll be Sanders, Bosnick, and then Becker on Sunday. Noah Hall sliding to the bullpen to be one of your top bullpen arms. Aiden Hunter, probably most likely your midweek guy at this point. So I think that's kind of where you sit right now. John Rice says, this guy's great. Straight facts. Please call in more. Yep. Again, guys, would love to hear from you, your questions, comments, calls. Like I said, come on out tonight to Tin Roof in the Vista. Either way, we'll have us a good time. Whatever. It is what it is. we'll have us a good time. I mean, like I said, guys, it's not life or death. It's baseball. It's just sports. But again, I think we have set standards and expectations, and we should demand more. We should. I don't think that's a negative at all. We should demand more. We should demand more. Bottom line, we should demand more. So. Start the phone lines here.
Call from
Rebecca.
Rebecca, what's going on? How are you?
Good. I wanted something to address on something to you while everybody is listening.
Yeah, go ahead.
If that's okay with you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here lately, I've been getting rude comments from people because they ain't liking that I've been calling in. And I know two people that I like to tell you who they are. There's one named Philip and one named Aaron. And they got upset with me being on here. They don't like it that I call in.
And Rebecca, you're always welcome to call in. I will say Philip actually, I know you may have missed it. Philip actually called in. Phil Harris actually called in at the beginning of the show and issued an apology statement. So maybe I'll be able to clip that and send it to you. Phil did issue an apology statement. Yeah, he called in like right at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, because I didn't hear it because I was still asleep.
Gotcha. So Phil did call in and apologize formally. So he is very sorry, and I was glad he did that. And I would say everybody who calls into this show is welcome to call in. Those who have never called in are welcome to call in. I appreciate every single caller. So I agree. There's no room for dissing and hating on people that are actually brave enough to call in. As far as the Aaron guy, I don't know of him. I don't know him, anything like that. But Rebecca, you are always welcome to call in. Always welcome to call in.
Because you and me both, you know that me and Robbie Davis both has got disabilities, and you know that.
Right.
And we shouldn't be treated like we're a piece of shit when we're not even doing anything. We just want to call in, to enjoy ourselves and call in.
Facts. I agree. 110%. I agree.
And we shouldn't get treated the other way, knowing that we got disabilities. Treat us like we're a regular person.
I agree 110%. Couldn't agree more.
But I wanted to address that to you, and also you did see the tattoo about I did, didn't you?
I loved the tattoo. Yes, the USC with the angel wings. Yes, I loved the tattoo.
Yeah, I love it. It was worth it. I'm telling you.
No, I loved it. I thought it looked really cool. Personally.
Right. I'm going to put it this way. I love everybody on here, but they're going to have to bear with me. They all going to have to bear with me.
Yeah, listen, you're good. I always look forward to your calls. Brian Lattimore says you can just tell them all to kiss your ass, which, no, I always look forward to the calls, so.
I just thought I'd just bring that to your attention about that because it needed to bring to you about it.
Yeah, well, no, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
But anyway, I heard that y'all lost.
We did lose. We did. We lost to the Citadel. So everybody's in a fantastic mood today.
Shit.
Yep. Everybody's in a great mood today.
Well, I don't know what to tell you about Vanderbilt.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Going to be a tough one for sure.
They any good?
Yeah, they're top 5 in the country, so they're pretty good. Yeah.
I just thought I asked about that.
Yeah, no, Vandy's a really, really good team. So it's going to be a challenge. That's for sure. Going to be a challenge. If we don't get it together, it will be just as rough as last weekend was.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to call in and tell how I feel about what went on here the last couple of days about the chat.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to bring it to your attention about it.
I appreciate that.
Nobody shouldn't be treating people with disabilities like they're a piece of shit.
I agree 110%. I got your back.
So, I didn't hear the apology thing from Philip Harris. If he did apologize, I accept. But if you don't care, if you can do the clip where I can hear it, send it to me or something. That would.
I will most certainly do that. Yeah, it was right at the beginning of the show. I will clip it and send it to you.
Okay. I can't think of that Aaron's last name right off the bat.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I don't think I've even seen him comment today.
All right, they wanting to hear it. Vanderbilt or Vandy, kiss my ass. There you go.
Love it. Love it. Win or lose, they can kiss our ass for sure.
Yeah, it's just like we lost from Tennessee.
Yeah.
But they can still kiss our ass.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was proud to wear that T-shirt up there last Friday. I had somebody, a Tennessee Vols fan, said that they liked my T-shirt.
I love that.
So.
Well, I liked it
but
too.
Anyway, I thought I'd get off of here and let somebody else call in, and I just wanted to address that to you and address that to everybody that is listening about, people shouldn't put people down for their disabilities and stuff and go off about their mental health and all.
I agree. Rebecca, you're welcome to call in anytime, and I actually look forward to it when you call in. So, again, call in anytime.
Right. But anyway, I'll let you go, and like I said, Vanderbilt, kiss our ass.
I love it. Rebecca, we'll talk soon. Have a great rest of your day. I appreciate you.
You too.
All right, bye-bye. Great stuff. And Rebecca, it makes a lot of great points. We all chirp and troll, but there's a line. It's just like, when I talk about heckling at baseball games and all that, there is a line. There is a line. So just let's just all be aware of it. Let's all be kind to each other. We're all Gamecock fans. Guys, we're going to take one final break before we close up, before I get to the rest of your comments, all that good stuff. Again, one final break. More of your questions, comments, calls, and more on the side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Final 7 minutes or so here on the Daily Crow this Wednesday, Hump Day, March the 23rd, 2022. Appreciate you all tuning in. Again, podcast did drop this morning. Episode 624. And what you can imagine is a very spirited conversation. Again, guys, I will say apologies to those who maybe tune in. And
Call from
I know
Miller, aka Young Savage.
to accept, press 1. To send
Young Savage, what's up, man? How are you?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. Chilling.
That's cool. I heard about the Steel-Dog last night, and I know I didn't watch it last night, but I heard Steel-Dog would lose. Although I heard Gamecock was lost against Steel-Dog, because Steel-Dog was doing some damn bullshit that I ever seen. This is big slap in the face. And also, my young swimmer, I got proof from the video of your Facebook page that the video that someone mentioned David Clark on Snapchat. And I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. First off, yeah, we did lose. It wasn't very fun. And yeah, that was a Citadel baseball player that apparently I'm friends with on Snapchat, and I didn't realize I was. So yeah. So not a fun night. Not a fun night.
Yeah, because you know what? Chris, Tuesdays ain't shit. Because Tuesdays are the worst day of our lives. Because they ain't shit.
Yeah.
I mean, Tuesdays just making people tripping and got someone's temper. And I agree with Rebecca and Robin Davidson on their white purpose behalf. They got so much professional shit on their hands to address it to all of them every day, all year. Because I wanted to address it right now because I know they post a video from Snapchat to mention this problem like that, and I saw it on my face, and I got proof to David right now tonight, even today, and I want him to know that someone just mentioned you on Snapchat, literally like Steel-Dog baseball team just going off the wrong hand, and I was like, no way, like I'm gonna send to him right now, like you cannot do that, you cannot mention against the game cost like that. That's just upsetting. That's just upsetting of you. That's so much pressure. It's just traumatizing like that. It's just not cool, not healthy.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I agree, man. Like I said, last night was tough. It's been a tough season thus far, and you had to turn it around quick because, yeah, it's just not good enough. Goes without saying.
Mm-hmm. And one more thing. Tomorrow is Vandy Candy Day because Vandy in the game is coming to tomorrow. And I just want to know. I want to address this because I want to give them I want to give them the Diet Bay candy. I want to give that Diet Bay candy out there to the Vandyville sugar-free candy.
Candy Vandy, yeah. Candy Vandy weekend indeed. Candy Vandy weekend indeed.
Yeah, because I want to give them those candy diabetes too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because Vanderbilt ain't shit at the end of the day. Because Gamecocks are the shit. Because they want to beat us down. Because they can beat us down too. Because we're the best. 24/7.
Very well said, Young Savage. Very well said. I agree with you. Great points made.
Okay. So that, yeah, I'm going to prepare for tomorrow Vanderbilt because I know that we're going to win against them because it's easy to win against Vanderbilt as the football season. That's quick. It's easy to beat Vanderbilt against them as football to baseball or basketball. As you I said, that's why I want them to beat Vanderbilt and let Mackle to do the best pitch that Vanderbilt pitch. So
yeah.
as they wish he should, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes tomorrow.
Yeah, going to be a fun weekend. Going to be a fun weekend for sure. Young Savage, I appreciate it, my guy. Let's get after it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, man. Take care. Great stuff from Young Savage. Again, guys, we're creeping up on 2 o'clock. A couple quick reminders. Podcast, of course, did drop this morning, episode 624. Be sure to check that out. Also, give me 1 second, guys. Also, we are live tonight, of course, at Tin Roof. It is Wednesday, 6 to 8. We will be out there taking your questions, comments, calls. Of course, $3 drafts, $3 Rumple, $3 Fireball. Great food, great people, great times as well. Also, Sunday, we are planning on throwing a watch party at Carolina Ale House in Harbison in Columbia, South Carolina for the Elite 8 matchup. And I'll say this, guys. I know some of you are saying, well, Chris, wait, we got to play this game for us. Don't jinx us. Guys, that's like the last thing I'm worried about. We will be fine. We will be playing on Sunday. Once we get the time, once we figure that out, I will let you all know. Travis Allen, show tomorrow. Yeah, there will be a podcast tomorrow. Yes. And Friday. Yes. Podcast Daily Crow as normal this week. I know we play tomorrow, but yeah, podcast will drop tomorrow to be a full series preview of the Vanderbilt series. And then Friday, I think we got something special for you guys. I think I might actually be being joined by another podcast, a Vanderbilt show, to talk Vandy, their baseball team, and just have fun conversation. So again, guys, content's rolling. Content is rolling, bleeding out the eyeballs. Podcast, Daily Crow, everything else. You all know the drill. But yeah, series starts tomorrow. So going to be a fun weekend for sure. Guys, that's going to do it all for me. Appreciate you all tuning in. You guys have a great rest of your Wednesday, and we'll see you tonight at Tin Roof in the Vista.